what's up? Welcome to 𝐏𝐸𝐻𝐸. You're listening to Student Shoutout, a show where we give campus talent the spotlight to showcase their art. And I am your recurring host. I'm Noel.
Yeah.
Today in our studio, quote-unquote studio, which sounds so professional, we have the current head of radio for 𝐏𝐸𝐻𝐸, Tristan.
Hey everyone, I just want to start this off by saying that this is not a self-indulgent promotion.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, we're not just going to be talking about my EP. I do want to talk some shit about some other things. So yeah, welcome everyone. It's been a long time since we've had a podcast going.
Yeah, it's been, since the pandemic hit Malaysia in full force, we kind of took a break because, a break of shame, I would say. But we are back now. We're back.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I think we should update everyone with, what we have been up to and what 𝐏𝐸𝐻𝐸 has been up to in the break, and also what we are going to be up to. Okay, my good friend Tristan, the current head of radio, he has actually released an EP throughout the while we were stuck in a pandemic. They say that like isolation breeds art, I guess, and he came out with a whole ass EP which is out on Bandcamp. You can buy it on Bandcamp, and you can stream it on Spotify and Apple Music, right?
And Title as well. Please buy it on Bandcamp, please. Yeah, but I think a lot of the EP came out from being stuck at home, like Noel said, but specifically because I didn't get an internship after my second year, and it was summer break, and I was on lockdown. I'm like, shit, what do I fucking do, right? So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go and make something. It probably sucks, but I'm just gonna go and release something because I just wanted to go and
spoiler alert, it does not suck. Okay, guys, go listen to it yourself. It does not suck.
Okay, enough self-indulgence. Okay, and that's pretty much all I've been doing. I've been working out of my bedroom, producing my own stuff, recording pretty much every day, and just practicing because there's nothing else to do when you're stuck in Seremban. The last time I actually went out before that was 10 months. I hadn't had any social interactions for 10 months, and now things are starting to go back to normal. 𝐏𝐸𝐻𝐸 is alive again.
We're back.
So what about you, Noel? What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Okay, I haven't really been doing much. So besides deteriorating mental health, I've been doing music as well. I've gone for some competitions, like music competitions that were held, and then I've also released a single called Quarantine, very aptly named. It's a very sad song. You can stream it on Spotify. Shout out. So just basically been taking a step back from releasing music, besides the few ones that I have, and mainly just working on getting better at producing stuff myself, I think. So that's what I've mostly been up to. But we should talk about 𝐏𝐸𝐻𝐸. It's currently it's a brand new semester, and I think we have like a new team. So right now I'm the head of radio, obviously, but there are quite a lot of cool people, like a lot of new hosts that have I've personally never met in real life, and we do have some shows planned, but a lot of us can't really make it to campus yet. So I'm trying to get people to record at home, kind of like what Noel and I have been doing. But we're still trying to sort out the upload schedule. We're trying to get everyone to record first. I do have a recording workshop on this coming Friday. I think by the time this is out, it would be a long time ago by then. But I think what Tristan is saying is that if anyone is interested in making a podcast or has some shit to do, they can come and contact us on IG, or I think on IG.
I think.
And they can we will give you the support to help you make your own podcast and to record remotely at home.
Yeah, you can come down to the DAG quote-unquote studio. Sim has a whole bunch of mics over here.
Yeah.
Can teach you how to record at home as well.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think that's exciting because like after this is out, I'm pretty sure we will have hopefully podcast weekly at least one upload a week. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's exciting, something to look forward to for everyone, you know, who commutes or drives or just wants to hear people talk while you're in isolation. I think that's pretty great. Yeah, so I mean, we talked about making music in the pandemic, right? So I think, yeah, as Tristan said, like he's just not here to promote his EP, but here to actually talk shit about the music industry in Malaysia. So let's get into the
okay, so where do we start? I guess I'll just start with like the platforms that people release music on, and subsequently how people support local musicians. So I mean, I think for a very long time a lot of local musicians just gig, right? Like because recording at a studio by itself is super expensive, so a lot of people just relied on gigging, and they never really had any recorded materials on hand. But then that pandemic thing just kind of made everyone buy like a Scarlett Focus solo and buy like a pair of studio monitors or something. So everyone kind of had to shift to that thing, and a lot of my friends have released EPs. Like a good friend of mine, Harish, under Iravu, who I think I'll be interviewing soon. He's released like 3 EPs? No, 1 single and 2 EPs. 𝐏𝐨𝐿𝐴 from Senja just released something like 2 days ago. And there's this really cool band called Math Class, which does everything digitally. Like they send their songs over to each other. So and going back to my main point about the platforms that we uploaded in, like it's normally Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, but I think specifically I do want to talk about the barriers to uploading, because everyone's heard of DistroKid. Actually, am I allowed to name the companies? I
think we should just talk transparently, right? Since we're not, this is not a podcast for profit.
Okay. So anyway, DistroKid. It costs a lot of money to go and put it up, and it's not a one-off payment either. It's like 150.
Basically.
If you want to put your stuff up, and you want to select your release date, like if you actually want to be organized about it, you have to pay about 150 ringgit a year. And that's okay between a band, but if you're just one guy who's broke, who has no money for anything, and you have to go and pay to go and put stuff up, it's not really that intuitive, right?
I think like to let some of our listeners know, essentially how, like, I know like a lot of people consume music on Spotify and or YouTube, and you actually see like underneath the YouTube video there's like a copyright claim thing where it's like it's by a label or something. So like who actually does these things? Actually like the distributor helps you distribute the music that you have recorded onto these platforms, and they actually do help in the process of copyright. So they give you a very simple copyright, just like, so it's like when people stream your music, you're supposed to get revenue. But for most independent artists, they don't really have the resource to as Tristan said just now, like indie artists mostly just poor as hell. So like, like normally like you see artists like Taylor Swift, like Ariana Grande, they actually have a record label doing all these distribution stuff and like the legal stuff for them. But as like an indie artist, you don't really have anyone, and if you do not do your own research, you can't even let people hear your music because you don't know where to put your music up on and be discovered, right? So yeah, and you can continue what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, like what Noel was saying, like you have to do a lot of research to like find these distribution platforms, because everyone knows about Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, but it's like there isn't an upload button on those sites where you can upload your own stuff. So it's like, how do I get my stuff up there? And then you find these distribution services like DistroKid. Personally, I use Amuse because it's free.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't really pick my release date unless I pay, but I'm fine with that because most other sites it's like you have to pay just to get it up, right? But Amuse is completely free for me, so I just put it up, wait for like 1 month, but in the meantime it's like a Bandcamp exclusive or something. Yeah.
But to those hopeful musicians who are like looking up amuse.io right now, you should know that because it's free, Amuse does take like a 15% cut. Actually, like from your revenue,
like
from your stream revenue. So it's like they are technically profiting from your music, but if your music doesn't even get streams anyway, so it's like you can just say I'm a Spotify.
It's like I'm on Spotify, and then it's like it's really good for press releases.
That's honestly like I'm fine with like using the free version of Amuse. So Amuse as a distribution platform, they actually do have a subscription package as well. So it's like you get more freedom. Like there's a paywall that hides like you can choose your release dates, and there's like more freedom to like editing and stuff. But honestly, like as a normal, like as a musician, like as long as my music is up on these platforms, like I can just say it's up, it's there, you can listen to it, right? So yeah. And I honestly think that, you know, like just talking about how to put your music up onto these platforms is just so exhausting, because like if you don't know someone who knows, nobody's gonna tell you that, oh, to put your music up on Spotify, to put your music up on Apple Music or on Tidal, like you have to go through this third party thing to essentially let people hear your music. And honestly, I think it's kind of shady, because I do think that buying directly from the musician is the best way, which is where how Tristan does it, and how our good friend Harish from Iravu does it. Like they put their music on Bandcamp, and the revenue goes directly to them. And so the artists can do whatever they want with the revenue. Let's talk a little bit more about the business model of Bandcamp versus let's say Spotify. So Spotify kind of pays you on like a pay per stream thing, and it's 0.0000000 something. And you get that money through your distributor or your record label. But for Bandcamp, you can kind of think of it as like a virtual CD store. So it's like you buy it, and Bandcamp does take a cut. It takes 10%, but that 10% is probably more than, probably really, really small compared to how much you actually earn. So it's like my EP is $4, and my brain's kind of dead right now, and I don't want to do maths, but they take a cut from that, and I keep the rest, and what I have left is more than I've ever made, and I probably ever will make from streaming services. So, I mean, there is an additional subtraction, and that's from PayPal, because, you know, PayPal has to go and deliver the money to you and to your bank, but you still make quite a fair amount of money. But I think a very sad thing about Bandcamp is that not a lot of people know about it. It's kind of a cult in a way. It's like there's this very small community worldwide, but more so in Malaysia, where like people buy each other's stuff. So I mean, there's this joke between Harish and I, like we've been giving each other the same 5 ringgit like for the past 3 months or something. So it's just it's kind of sad, but you can also find like a lot of really good independent artists. Like the other day, Noel and I were just scrolling through Bandcamp, and we like found this collection of forest noises, which are really, really cool. Yeah,
and
it's like they recorded around Malaysia as well.
Yep,
right?
yep.
Like it's Malaysian forest sounds.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But just one more thing to go and add on about Bandcamp is that when you buy the songs, you can download it in the highest quality. So a lot of people don't know this, but YouTube, Spotify, and a lot of other streaming platforms, they compress the sound. So I don't know too much about the loudness war, but basically, at one point, bands were mixing stuff really, really freaking loud, and it's like you would jump from song to song, and there would be massive volume differences. So, I mean, this is another gate to like uploading music. It's like you've got to know, okay, SoundCloud is -12 LUFS, and YouTube is -13, and it's really annoying. And if you don't pay attention to that, a lot of the dynamics of your tracks can be, you know, like kind of compressed and squashed, and yeah, I mean, listening to some of my stuff on Spotify, I'm like, bro, just buy the track on Bandcamp and download it. It's so much better, you know. Yeah, that's my experience with uploading music.
Exactly. So, yeah, can you tell that Tristan is from the business school?
Oh my god.
Yeah, jokes aside, I think to me Bandcamp is like, it's like a flea market where you get to buy directly from musicians, right? And it's like, although there are some like PayPal and Bandcamp where they take a bit of money off you, like in the end the money goes straight to the artist itself, and that is way better than having a stream on Spotify. But then I understand like how people, how quote unquote normies, or just general people who don't really have much of a interest in music or listening, they don't really care about listening to music at the fullest quality. Like they just like how people consume music, right? So I think normal people just consume it without really thinking of it. Yeah, so it's like on Spotify, so they'll just put on their daily mix, or they'll just put on like whatever there's some playlist that Spotify pushed, and or like they'll just put YouTube on the background and just put autoplay, and just whatever the algorithm shoves it in your face. So also they might consume it via radio. So radio is also something that someone else curated, and I mean, honestly, like if you drive and you put on the radio and you listen to the radio regularly, you know that a lot of the pop stations in Malaysia, they literally play like the same song
from
like
2014 like over and over,
or they play like the newest hits, like the newest Bieber or like Bruno Mars hit for like 50 times a day. So you know, it's like, yeah, people don't really think when they consume music, and I think that musicians should consider these aspects when they're trying to market themselves.
To be completely honest with you, like I don't think that my music, or especially Harish's music, works as background music, you know, because a lot of people like consume. Dude, I fucking hate saying consume because it's like a product when but anyway, that is a whole nother rabbit hole. Like I mean, when you like listen to a music, a lot of people like to go on YouTube and look for the lo-fi girl, you know, and it's like lo-fi beats to go and study to, and they just put it on while they're studying, which I understand. I listen to really aggressive music when I work out, but I don't really pay attention because I just need the testosterone, you know. so yeah, I mean, I completely understand that. I do it as well, but I feel that a lot of people don't really sit down to like, they don't give themselves like let's say 30 minutes or an hour to go and listen to an album all the way through. It's always just picking one song. And also I feel that a lot of people, they don't look for local musicians as much, you know. Like they don't do the searching for local indie bands, or you know, like people who are stuck in their bedrooms like recording. They always go for, okay, Ariana Grande, boom, and yeah,
I think it goes to say like why is this, right? So personally, I think like talking to a lot of people outside of our musician circle, I think that a lot of people who do like white collar or blue collar jobs, they're just tired. Like they don't want to spend the energy to sit down and, you know, like attentively listen to music. And if they do, they might just choose the ones that they're most familiar with, which is these international pop stars that, you know, their music has, you know, like been aggressively marketed and been played like 100,000 times. It's like when you, like, let's say like on radio, right? Like if you listen to a song once, you won't take note of it, but if the radio plays it like 500 times a day, you'll start to familiarize yourself with the song, and
you get brainwashed.
Exactly. Yeah. Essentially you get brainwashed into, you know, thinking that, you know, like you can sing along, you know, like when the chorus hits, like, you know, and you get nostalgic for it. So it's essentially brainwash, you know, aggressive marketing. And actually you can actually pay radio stations to play a song 500 times a day, which is what a lot of the big labels do, but you know, this might just be a conspiracy theory. So
also one more thing about the whole like looking for new music thing, like, to be honest, I kind of get it, because like when you, like, especially if you use platforms like Spotify, like if you go on top 100 metal hits, right, like you don't really break out of those bands, and even if even if you do, it's just like probably like the most popular ones. Like for Metallica, you won't get recommended Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning or And Justice for All. You get recommended the Black Album, Enter Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, blah 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 blah. And same with Gojira, their album Magma, you get Stranded, you get Silvera, but you don't get anything from the art of like from The Way of All Flesh, like the Art of Dying. So I think from my experience, finding music through Spotify, like finding metal through Spotify, is fucking hard. Okay, like you don't find any underground bands, and that's where I go to Bandcamp to go and find underground stuff. But again, like I think having to like go through that process as well is quite tiring. It's like, you know, like if you're not interested, you're not going to keep looking, right? It's like, unless you have this innate drive and you're like a quote unquote music appreciator, like you won't go out of your way to go and find local stuff or new underground stuff.
I do want to talk about the algorithm as well. Like if you're on Spotify a lot and you listen to a specific genre, so currently I'm more into just funk and soul music, so Spotify knows this and it keeps pushing it to me, and in the end my playlist, like my daily mix, ends up sounding the exact same. And honestly, as someone who I'm not really into like any specific genre, like I listen to everything and appreciate a lot of different genres, it gets kind of sick to me. So I've had this conversation with my good friend Jessie, shout out at Don't Ask Me Genres. She also thinks that, you know, like if you do not actively proactively search for music, or like change up your genres or whatever that you're listening to, like Spotify would just keep the algorithm, essentially YouTube is the same as well, it would just keep shoving the same things that sound very similar down your throat, because it's like, you enjoy it, have more. It's just the same thing over. It kind of becomes like like you're stuck in a loop, right? So I think that, you know, like with whatever audience that we have, like we do want to urge people to, you know, maybe just actively trying out new music, because it's like, it can be whatever. Like you can't go on like just randomly search. It's kind of like going to a CD store and just picking like the third thing you see and just putting it on and see if you like it, right? But like on Spotify or like on YouTube, you can actually do it for free, right? And the streams, I mean, doesn't really help that much, but it does help the artist. And this way you can discover more artists outside of your own like personal little bubble of comfort. I think that's something that a lot of people should start doing. So so it's like listen to Tristan's EP if you're not into progressive rock.
I also think that everyone should go to like a local gig at least once, you know, like at least one for each genre, because I used to be like, oh, indie sucks, metal's like the only good thing. But I went to a gig in Intonation, I think it was called, like back in 2019. I was like, oh, this isn't bad, you know. And then it's like you actually meet a lot of cool people as well who are probably like-minded. And same with like metal shows and punk shows. Shout out to Rumah Api. Rumah Api is sick. But yeah, like you just, I mean, actually talking about Rumah Api, when you walk in and you go to the back, you can see walls of cassettes and CDs and stuff with like you know, like artwork, and even band shirts are like on sale over there. And you wouldn't know about it if you just listen to the radio, because it's not, I mean, a lot of people don't make music that is marketable to like the you know, the, what's the word, the
masses.
The masses, yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people don't make music like that, and who knows, like you might actually like a lot of underground stuff.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Like seeing that KL actually, or most of the major cities in Malaysia, is slowly opening back up into whatever fucking phase we are in. Honestly, like, yeah, but we're slowly opening back up. Events are back, so actually there are quite a lot of gigs happening, usually over the weekend. So it'd be cool if you can check out places like Rumah Api or like Fono KL, FONO, which is in Zhongshan Building, or in Petaling Street. There are quite a lot of little live houses that you can check out. Rex KL is one of the places where they have a lot of music events. I think Merdeka is gonna come back as well, and I think the B in Publica as well. Like, you know, go to their Instagram pages or Facebook or whatever and just have a look, and you know, you might just discover. It's like, oh, Angkasa Space is also one that's in Cheras, and it's like going to these places, you always discover like the lights. Like, even if the band sucks or like you're not into their music, you get to watch people perform live, and I think like experiencing that as someone who, I mean, if you're just one of the masses, like it's good to immerse yourself in arts, but if you're a musician, you get to see how the tech team sets things up, and how people do live mixing. You actually honestly learn a lot of things just by attending a live event. And honestly, our local musicians really need your support right now, especially for live gigs, because like usually how these things works is that like I haven't gigged for so long, but essentially when you buy a ticket, the musician does get a cut. So but also like it's not that much, so you should buy their merch as well when you're there. I
think Merdeka was like a 20 ringgit cover charge, and then 50% went to the headlining act, and if you put a tip in the tip jar, it goes to the open mic fellas.
So I think it's good to promote these things in Malaysia, because I think that maybe we should talk about like the support that musicians get. So
I mean, I think a lot of musicians should have their stuff up on Bandcamp. Like, first off, put your stuff up on Bandcamp, peer pressure your friends into buying your stuff, because I mean, I had like 22 purchases, and they're all from my friends, like not from any strangers, and I'm fucking top 5 in Malaysia.
If you don't believe, you should go and see for yourself. Like Tristan's Textures EP is really up there.
Harish and I are actually up there, and we've
top 4 and 5.
Top 3, 4, and 5, and it's really strange because like it just shows how little people buy stuff in Malaysia, like how people don't buy. I mean, okay, so like I think as soon as cars started like taking out CD players and they started putting in like those like Bluetooth things, like people just don't buy CDs anymore, and that was actually like a really big source of revenue for artists. And especially now since we don't have gigs, it's like it's really hard to go and organize selling shirts. I mean, dude, even 𝐷𝐴𝐺 trying to go and sell our club shirts has been kind of a pain, and like getting logistics and all of that down. So I mean, I don't think that an artist has the time and the money to like deliver it to your doorstep, right? So yeah, like digital stuff might be like a really good alternative to supporting artists. But yeah, like not a lot of people have the culture of buying music.
Yeah, because I think it's like they just think that if I can stream it for free on Spotify, like why should I, right? But honestly, I know that a lot of like artists who they do put their stuff up on Bandcamp where you can buy it digitally, but after you buy it digitally, they actually fucking send you a physical copy, and it's just crazy to me because it's like, wow, like some people like. I think like album packaging is art as well. So it's like an extension of their brand, you know. I love it so much. Like shout out to one of this local artist from KK. Her name is Straw Lim, and her stuff is on Bandcamp as well. And she regularly donates her proceeds to charity. I think Harish does it as well, right?
to the Sweet Foundation
yeah,
as well.
Exactly. So it's like, even though you're directly giving them money, like a lot of these musicians actually will just give it to charity, and I think that's
so sweet.
That's so sweet, and that's fucking amazing. Like no pressure to other people lah, but you know, like there are people like that. And Straw actually like she sent her album like to my address, and I was like so surprised because, you know, I already bought the digital copy. I could just like listen to it online, but no, like she knows like people appreciate holding things in their hands. So yeah, I mean
like if you take apart like a really old album, like I don't know, like fucking Pink Floyd or like the first Maroon 5 album, it's like when you open it, there's like cover art, and then inside there's like the track list, and then there's like all the credits like to Mom, or it's so cool. It really adds into the experience, and it's not just like go to his Spotify page, click follow, click the first song, and it's a really different thing. But also about that whole donation thing, I find it really cool because it's not like you're just donating, and it's not like you're spending money on two different things, because like, oh, I have to go and buy an EP and I have to go and donate. It's like I'm buying and I get music and I'm donating to someone. Like that is, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, and especially like we have to highlight that Bandcamp does actually, there's Bandcamp Fridays where they actually waive the revenue, so Bandcamp doesn't take a cut. So basically they're saying like, give all your money to the artists, they deserve it.
Give all your money to me.
Yeah, so I really think that more people should hang out on Bandcamp, like just create an account. It's like a one-click thing, and you know, just explore like different genres and like different people. Like the community on Bandcamp is really sweet and supporting. Like they're always like leaving comments for each other, and it's like, personally I don't have music out on Bandcamp because it's like, you know, like things are a cooking, but essentially like just exploring on Bandcamp as a consumer, it's like, oh, like they really like each other. It's not a competition, it's literally just artists supporting each other, and I think that's beautiful. Yeah,
once again, artists just passing the same 5 ringgit around to each other.
Exactly.
I think a lot of artists would appreciate if you buy their stuff as well, you know, like, I mean, just like sharing an IG post on your story already does so much for us, but man, like every time I get a purchase from a friend, my heart melts, you know. Just like, yeah.
See, this is absolutely not subliminal messaging for you to go. Okay, I think we should talk about how people are actually promoting music in the COVID era, because like we didn't even talk about this app because I don't think we use it, but TikTok.
I use TikTok. Speak for yourself, man.
I mean, I have an account. I go on it, but I don't like how this is just a personal opinion. TikTok, don't sue me. Like, we're open to collaboration. Yeah, but it's just like, I think it's just the endless scrolling, and also like I just end up like, okay, I'll just do a quick 15-minute scroll, and no, you just bam, 6 hours gone.
I think short form content is really, really intoxicating, and it just sucks you in for like
exactly
really long time.
So it's like we shouted out math class just now. Shout out to Shock and Benny. Like
Benny
I actually met them when I was competing in Penang. So they're a Penang based band, and they actually do math rock inspired music. They're trying to do math rock, but they're not there yet, but which is totally fine, by the way. Their music is great, and actually they did find a lot of success in posting their song on TikTok, and honestly, like, yeah, good for them. Like, I'm so happy for them that, you know, they got their music out there and it was heard on TikTok. And I think also, like, there's a lot of people who are just really great at marketing themselves, their music, because it's like we all struggle with this, musicians, right? I think Tristan, we talk about this a lot. It's like, how do we walk the fine line between, you know, telling people that I made this really cool stuff, please listen to it, without making it feel like, here's my good
here's
stuff,
my
and
music, listen now.
Shoving it down people's throat, right? Because if you look at more traditional musician, like not traditional, like commercial musicians with big labels behind them, you actually do see them going on like press tours or to promote their music. So some of them will go on like Colors, they'll go on NPR, they'll go on like the Genius, where they break down their lyrics. And it's like they have the resources and the connections to do that, but what are the indie artists in Malaysia doing to promote themselves?
I think this kind of raises the point of like having a really strong, supportive, like underground community. It's like everyone shares each other's album on their Insta stories, or they recommend it to a friend. Like that alone just does wonders for any artist. So I mean, personally, I don't like marketing my stuff, because I feel very self-indulgent. It's like, yes, I am the best guitarist in the world, listen to my stuff right now. But I think also because art can feel very vulnerable at times, you know, like especially if you write a really sad song, it's like, hey, listen to this, bro, I just wrote a song for like 5 minutes about me being depressed, and it's like, you don't really want to show that vulnerable side sometimes. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's just like, to me, like, this goes into like songwriting personally. Like, when I write music, I think it's kind of like my diary. So like a lot of my songs are really, really personal, and sometimes I do get a bit shy in sharing it, because it's like, you know, like, welcome to my brain. But other times I do think that like when I finish a song, it's like a freeze frame of that moment in time, and I get to go back and like demand myself from that time, and I think that's kind of sweet and beautiful. So it's like I don't mind people I don't mind sharing it with people. I mean, like, please subscribe to my YouTube channel but to listen to more, right? But it's still like, I think it's very hard to be like showing out your guts, like inside, like, like waving it around and say, please listen to this, please. It's like how I think that, and especially like, I think a lot of bedroom musicians are just introverts, and it's hard for them to speak up in the first place, and like music is their way. So it's like when they finish a product, like, like, we don't really want to call like music a product, right? But when you're talking about marketing, music is essentially the product. Like, how are they gonna get more people to listen to, right? Like, if you don't have like a support, if you're just starting out, you don't have a supportive network, like, you know, you won't get picked up by the algorithm. Like, what do you do?
I mean, normally I'm a firm believer in letting the art speak for itself, but to be honest, sometimes like bands who have very good marketing skills just go the extra mile because they're able to see those opportunities and stuff. And I mean, like, a lot of it does come from privilege, you know, like having access to those, like, to to that information. But yeah,
I think like actually like if you're immersed in Malaysia's music scene, you actually do see like a lot of bands or artists who, you know, their stuff is like, honestly, like I wouldn't call it mind-blowing, but they have a really good marketing team where they do like really good visuals, they do really good like they have a good network, you know, they go on like the traditional route where they go get interviewed on radio stations, or they get interviewed on like our local TV stations. Like, you know, some people actually do use that until now, and it does work because people do consume radio like generally, and like, you know, like it's also something to say that you've done, right? It's like, oh, I was on this radio show, or like, oh, I was on this TV show promoting my stuff. It's like, it's something to claim that you've done. But of course, it's not, maybe sometimes the music does not is
Fit.
not it's not, maybe it's not, perhaps not like the best thing. Like I can name like 10 like unknown people who are more quote unquote talented, or, you know, like I prefer it more than these mainstream like how do we call someone like an indie artist who has gone mainstream? Like
sell out.
okay, like okay, I don't know, like, you know, this is something that this discourse, I guess, goes on a lot in our private conversations, but there really isn't a conclusion. It's more of a case study, I would say. So, you know, like, you should have options. Like, you could just release shit and just wait for people to discover it, or you could aggressively market your things like you are an artist with a label, right? But in the end, I still think connections. It's like, always make friends with other musicians, and always be kind and share each other's things. Like, that's what we do. Like, when Tristan releases something, like, get on my Instagram, like, even if I haven't posted for like 6 months, and like shove it down my followers, just like, listen to my friend. If my friend won't do this, I will do this for them. So I think that is the best way. So it's like, so yes, this is an open call to like the musicians on campus to come and find us. So you know, we can give you a platform to, you know, showcase your music, like how we've done in previous episodes with Prodigium and Tiny and the
now Stonewallers
Crackheads, now Tiny and the Stonewallers. And also I think we featured Musop. Did we even post that?
No. I did we? I mean,
I did. I recorded that.
NYTB.
Oh yeah, NYTB. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I mean, we've done live sessions for these bands, and right now radio kind of has this quote unquote service where if you want to come in and record demos, if you want to learn how to produce, like, we're here, bro. Just like come, you know. Like,
we want to give you guys a platform, like, because of the pandemic, like, we haven't been on campus, so there hasn't been like open mics on campus, and there hasn't been like events, like musical events where people can, you know, like showcase their talents, and like we can go personally ask you, like, yo, would you like to get featured on a show? Like, we don't know anything. Like, it's literally a wild west right now. So it's like, if you're listening, like, by some chance, and you're like, I have talent, I do want to be recorded, I do want to be interviewed, I do want to let more people know, this is a platform for you. Like, we would love to feature you, not just on Knots FM, but on DAG as well. We have our NTV live sessions where we do a video recording, like, somewhere on campus. Like, it would be great to feature you guys. You can check out our previous videos on the NTV channel, where we have NYTB, where we have Prodigium, where we have Tiny and the now Stonewallers. Like, just check it out. And if you are interested in joining our team as our crew, we are welcome. Like, DAG is always open. Like, just drop us a DM or on our unique email, right? And you can come join us in our production. And also, if you're interested in video production, you can join in our NTV crew as well. Like, come on, let's make good art, right? Even
if you're not that confident in your music, I'm not going to allow you to be the judge of that because you might be really good, you know, without even realizing.
Let
so
us
yeah, I mean,
judge you.
just okay, that
yeah, like we've been talking shit about music industry, right? Let us judge you. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about music. You know, like we might have a show where we just gather with a bunch of musicians and we just, you know, just talk about music in general. Like just like this podcast is really long enough. So it's like a longer one for that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Mayhaps.
So
So
I think
we're back with a bang. I feel like Knots FM is back with a bang. Like I'm very happy to be interviewing Tristan.
I'm very happy to have Noel interviewing me. It feels really sentimental as well. It's like the last one was hosted by her, so this is really sweet.
Yeah, we might have like a bunch of like other hosts to explore different aspects of Student Shoutouts. Because Student Shoutout is not just about art, it's also about, you know, we can just talk about anything we want here.
Any form of art, poetry. If you're a spoken word poet, reach out to us. If you're a club on campus who needs a shout out, please reach out to us. It's a student shout out, not a musician shout out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that all my friends are musicians, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I think this is a good place to end the show. Like,
yeah, I think we can kind of call it. I mean, like we can bring this to an end here. Yeah.
So thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
This is Student Shoutouts. You know, stream Tristan's EP, I guess.
Yeah, and look out for more episodes in the future. We've got more stuff lined up. Bye-bye.
Bye.